Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Ray. We are with the Light Smoke, episode 6. So, let me see when the people are joining. And so there was an announcement on this one, but I mean, I didn't post any picture or anything, any post specifically for this live, but yeah, that will be the procedure for future. So how's everyone? How the week been? It's a nice weather though. At least with me here in Yorkshire is pretty decent weather. So I hope it's the same with you guys in wherever you are. I'm hoping this time the mic will be fine. If anyone can um, just thumb up and tell me how is the mic. I hope it's good. So what you all smoking? I lit this cigar about 20 minutes ago. It's still about an inch into the smoke. But what is it? It's Sensei Sensational Sarsaparilla. It's made by La Zona or Espinosa. So this is a collaboration between Espinosa and Cigar Dojo. So I think the first one they released about more than 10, 12 years ago. Um, this is the second release. It's a Toro 6 by 50. I reckon it's more like 6 by 48. It's not that thicker in gauge as what the announcement says. They even have the third release, and I think they released a fourth recently. A couple different sizes. Bellicoso was the original release. This is the second, and the third was again Bellicoso. Then they released a Slim Toro. Blend is. Hey Jan, how's the mic? Um, I don't know why the mic's cracking. Honestly, there shouldn't be any cracks from the mic. Such a pain in the ass, this mic. Well, I've literally every week I eliminate from the technical stuff I'm using, and now it's basically I need to plug my mic into the camera. That's the next step. But yeah, back on this cigar, Mexican Soundless wrapper, undisclosed binder filler. Um, Start a little bit blunt, so I'm a little bit not happy. I expect more, but at least most of the others I smoked they were significantly better than this one. Very nice band, gold, brown, the Cigar Dojo logo. Cigar Dojo, I don't know if you guys know about Cigar Dojo community. Cigar Dojo is a very interesting. I don't know how to call it. Group of people which they do a podcast. They do a lot of interesting stuff. They also release some exclusive cigars with a couple different brands. Um, every year they did few. I think the one of the latest one was with Steve Saka, and they released a sobremesa for the club. They have a nice app where basically it's something like Reddit. People can post. There's a different groups. There's a all kind of stuff. It's a full social media just on the Cigar Dojo. Father and son, the two people behind it. It's a very very interesting. If you haven't been there, I just don't have the time anymore to stay in the cigar dojo reality or whatever universe, if you can call it that way. But if you have a free time, I would recommend it. Just jump in there. There's a plenty of interesting stuff around. So, as usual, we're gonna jump into some news, some interesting stuff. What happened in the past week? There's a few very interesting topics I want to talk about, and yeah, if anyone else smoking, just let me know what you're smoking. What's on the menu tonight? Have you smoked anything super interesting in the last week or so? So, in the meantime, we're gonna jump into the. I'm gonna looking more into my laptop, guys, because I need to switch off on the screen. I don't use my separate screen just because I was thinking that's one of the reasons the mic to be crackles or something. So yeah, I'm gonna move in up screens and different stuff. First news I want to talk about, and the first topic, it's finally the Opus X La Edición de la Sociedad being shipped to the shops in US. So I don't know if you guys follow the Opus Society, Opus people. It's it's so Manny Riarte is the guy who is one of like the marketing, more of art creating people in connected to the Fuente family. He's very close to the family. He's doing all those kind of fun projects with the lighters, cutters, ashtrays, pouches, etc. And he created this Opus X Society. It's like, I don't know, private club into the private club, into the super exclusive circle of people. Um, they because of the relations with Fuente, they release Fuente give him the honor to create a cigar for that society, and this is the first release of this cigar. So I've seen the cigar in Dortmund on the Intertabac. It's a big cigar. I think it's close to a Churchill size or Toro, 6 and a quarter, 49. So I don't know what you can call that. Petit Churchill. It's not Petit Churchill. It's probably a little bit shorter than Churchill. Between shorter, between. I mean, I don't know. It's unique size. 6 and a quarter, 49. It's 49 ring gauge and less than 7 inch. Um, the interesting thing about it, obviously, it's Fuente, it's Opus, and that's all mean money. And MSRP on the cigar in the US, it's $90. I've already spoke with few people, a couple of shop owners in LA, and in some of the other states, and they say the cigar will be for sale for around $150. So you see already $90 announcement. I don't think anyone will sell in those for $90. They're super limited, extremely rare pieces, and yeah, good luck finding this on 90. Um, I don't know if anyone will, literally anyone who wants to sell it on 90 will manage to get some. Okay, someone smoking AJ Fernandez Puro Especial in Robusto and two smoking barrels. What's a two smoking barrels? Never disappoints. I mean, is that a cigar? I mean, I can't, top of my head, I cannot think of what cigar is that. Two smoking barrels. But anyway, that was in the comment section. Yeah, well, let me know what you think about the Opus X Society. Apparently the cigar will be completely new blend of the standard Opuses, some very very rare, very limited, all those yari 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 stories with just creating more and more hype around it. Mm, I just thinking it's just another size added to the portfolio. Obviously, the buns are a little bit different. They have that yellow and blue, which is not usual in the Opus range colors, but those being added to the band. I mean, you can Google the box and you'll see it's a very beautiful box. I mean, I'll give him that. The presentation is phenomenal. Um, Box looks very beautiful. The band, the cigars, most actually most of the Opus X cigars, the boxes are pretty good. Um, I mean, they do a few different styles. Um, they do a few different styles of boxes. They have this wooden um, slit open box with the clasp on front. They're brownish or red colors, and they have all the fancy lacquered top-notch boxes, which probably the box itself is like $50-$60 or something. Um, S is the GQ own brand. Hey, that's an interesting. It's Sam from GQ. It's a buddy, and he keeps saying me, "Oh, I need to give you some of my own blend to try them." Um, I haven't tried them. We keep every time we see each other, he always say, "Oh, I'll need to send you some. I need to send you some." Not like I've chased him, um, but yeah, I tried to get more details about his own blend, and he was like, "I'm not entirely sure about what's in there." But yeah, so very nice. Extraterrestrial immunity. Man, can you not put more longer name? Joining with the Tabernacle David. That's a banging cigar. I love that cigar. It's one of the probably all-time favorite cigars. Tabernacle. I did events with that. I have Nick Melillo in my lounge. We smoke a lot of that, and I like Perfectus, and the David is the smaller Perfecto compared to the Goliath. Goliath is a little bit too chunky. It's not very comfortable to keep it in your mouth, even if it's Perfecto. But David is a perfect hour smoke cigar. I prefer David than the Bellicoso and the Robusto. Only the Toro is probably par on par, but the Toro is a longer smoke. Um, Micheleros are rolled by Plasencia Factory. SS question. So the original Michelero, the one with the maroon red vine type of band, they were rolled by Plasencia. The new Peruvian one, I don't think they're rolled by Plasencia. They might be, but they don't tell me. I mean, they keep that quite secret. Um, Obviously, they know I have a big mouth, and I'll tell everyone. But I don't say they're not. I don't say they are. I mean, I don't have a proof they're rolled by Plasencia, and I can't say for sure. Most logically, they're rolled by Plasencia, but the thing is, they have a Peruvian tobacco in there. Peruvian tobacco is. I don't think Plasencia use a lot of Peruvian tobacco, and I don't know if they bind the Peruvian tobacco or it's been rolled by some other small manufacturer. But I don't really know. Honest answer. I'll go back onto the Fuente topic, and someone mentioned the Opus range is hyped. I mean, they it's been how to say that Opus range has been on the market for like 20 years, and they create that unicorn back in the time. That basically the idea with the Opus was the cigar, how they can make a cigar with Dominican wrapper. No one managed to produce any good Dominican wrapper back in the time. So um, Carlito Fuente says to his dad, I'm gonna make a cigar with Dominican wrapper. Basically, he proved to his father he created. Um, Then the Lost City edition came on the map because of the movie with Andy Garcia and etc. etc. Um, I think at the beginning probably they didn't create the hype. I think the Fuente family didn't start the hype at the beginning. Maybe there was a um, there was not that many brands which started that many years ago, and Fuente was one of the brands in the cigar boom and managed to survive. And maybe the followers, because they already create this top premium exclusive cigar. You know, back in 1994, 93, 92, I don't think there was a quite a lot expensive non-Cuban cigars. You know, New World, like a top premium, high-end, exclusive, whatever you can call it, luxurious boutique. And they were one of the first, maybe jumping a little bit high on the price. Instead of like $5 for a cigar, they go for maybe 12, 15. I don't know what was the original price of the Opus back in the time, but they creating this um, price line, and people who maybe have more budget, more finance, they jump on the wagon and say, "Oh, if it's expensive cigar, maybe it's better." Uh, I don't say it's better or it's not. That's not the case at the moment. But yeah, the hype was created, and now whatever they release, that's all go to the same hype. You know, it's Fuentes, the new Opus, the new Vitor, the new Limitada. I've smoked a bunch of Opuses. I still smoke sometimes Opuses again. I can't. I don't smoke them all the time. Um, they're not easy to find. If you find them, they're not cheap. And I still believe in the theory that a cigar shouldn't cost more than $30. It doesn't matter what kind of stuff you use in there. $30 is my limit still. The inflation with me doesn't change it. You know, I used to say $30 2 years ago, and I still say $30. Um, but who knows? Some people would pay 100, some people would not. Um, 90 to 100 stick at the times is way too high, and your share is excellent. You have 35 to 40 years. Um, but if you see, I mean, Shuja, Shuja, I don't know if I say your name right. I'm sorry if not. Um, the thing is now, Fuente, I have this discussion with a couple of people all the time. We arguing a little bit, so um, I'm curious to see what's your opinion. Also, do you think Fuente's luxurious brand? Because this is a dilemma. What's luxurious? And based on basically something which is more demand than availability, prices, whatever. I think Fuente is luxurious brand. Most of my colleagues and people I'm discussing and having that dilemma, they not agree with me. For them, luxurious brand is Cohiba, but not Fuente. I would put Davidoff there as well. And then all of those brands, let me light. So all of those brands for me, they're luxurious. Obviously, all of them have budget lines. Even Fuente, even Cohiba have cheap lines. Um, Davidoff as well, but all of them trying to release cigars, and they every new release, every limited release is more expensive and more expensive. As you can see, Davidoff released. We talked about that last week. Oro Blanco, $700. Before that was a Diadema Fina or something like that. The Long Perfecto, which is like 180 pounds or 80 to 100 or something like that. Before that, Maduro, the new Maduro limited edition was same thing, 70, 80 pounds in UK. And even if I go more back, it's like the Anniversario number one was over 100 pounds, and so on and so on. Fuente, same situation. They released the Padron collaboration. I've seen some very crazy money on that, over $200 for a cigar. Now they're releasing the Opus Society 100 and something. As it's an interesting point you're making. The new world, a lot of the cost will be down to storage times, etc. Aging retail space. I don't fully agree with that. I mean, most of those people they store the tobacco. The reason to store the tobacco is because they it's like the whiskey. I mean, the whiskey, the this most of the distilleries blend and distill whiskey. They don't release probably even half of it. They keep it to aging and so on. The cigars are the same. All the big manufacturers, all the virtually integrated companies, they don't release what they produce. They keep it. They store it. I visit few factories in the last year in March, and I've seen some inventories in Perdomo, in AJ, in Oliva, in Padron. And for example, some of those companies, they says we are absolutely fine to releasing cigars in the next 7 or 8 years without even purchase or grow new tobacco. So they have inventory for good few 5, 6, 10 years worth of cigars with the current production, and they don't have problem with lack of space. I don't think any one of those was like, oh, I don't have space. No, they're gonna build another warehouse and they're gonna store it there. And okay, storage costs money. Obviously, you need ventilation, circulation, air, all kind of stuff. There's a risk of fire. Every week we talk about some fire in the factories, etc. But if I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't researched that much on that topic. But if a product costs, I don't know, let's say if you roll a cigar, brand new cigar from any of those brands, came out of the factory or the price tag of $1 or $2. I mean, this is just the raw product, rolled cigar without fancy buns, boxes, marketing, whatever. Just a raw product, a puro made in the factory. If that's a $2, put it five. Okay, I'll call it $5. If you age this cigar for 20 years and you release it on a kind of $700, like what's the Davidoff case? I mean, this is a lot of percentage on top on your standard $5 or $10. I mean, it's like thousands and thousands percent more. Well, I don't know any other product where you made the product or you have you produce the consumatives for the product, and 20 years later this is like 500,000 times more expensive than 20 years back. I don't know if you get the point what I mean. It's I agree if it's like it's a $5 cigar and says okay in 5 years this is 100% more expensive, because we keep it, store it, etc. Yeah, that's $10. Maybe 200% more. It's $15. But still doesn't make sense to go to $100. Where those other money go for? Box. I mean, fancy box, okay, but if there's a people here who work with wood, they know if you have a factory for boxes and painting and everything in the boxes, it's not gonna be more than, I don't know, put it 100. No, it's not even 100. I don't believe a empty box costs 100 to make it. But even if the craziest box you decide to design, $100, you put 20 cigars in there, that's a $5 on a cigar. Band, I mean, some of the most expensive bands cost about $2 a piece. I'm talking about top end bands. Some of the standard production bands, they're probably like 5 pence, 10 pence, 10 cents. And everyone else says, oh, but there's a marketing, there's a team, sales team, people who sell the cigars in the shop. I said, yeah, but those people sell all the cigars of your line. They don't sell only this exclusive new cigar. So why your other cigars are $10 and why this is a still 100? I mean, what they're gonna sell? They're gonna put more effort selling this one, and they're not gonna sell the other ones. They're gonna sell only this one. I mean, So yeah, I can keep ranting on this topic for ages. I mean, how some brands just release everything they do, and but I guess if you release $100 cigar and people buying it, yeah, next time you release $120 or $200. If people still buy it, they release $300. Why not? I mean, that's the name of the game. It's a business. Yeah, someone mentioned the name of the game. You can charge more only. You can charge more only if you can create good brand perception. Yeah, I mean, yeah, plenty of background with marketing in those all those years, and you charge as much as you want. I mean, yeah, I think we go a little bit too sideways with the Opus news, but yeah, that was what I want to mention about Opus. It was interesting news. It's an interesting cigar. Also, another thing, the most of the cigar is covered with paper. I'm not massive fan of cigar fully covered with paper. Like food, okay, put a food band, protect it to food damage, but literally cover 95% of the cigar with food. I don't know. It doesn't. I prefer to look at the cigars like that. Slim band. You can see the wrapper, you can see the tobacco. Maybe before you light the cigar, just enjoy. Look at the cigar. The next topic will be advent calendars. So the news is that Oliver again releasing the new advent calendar 2024. Um, um, the, the fun thing with the advent calendar is there's literally no difference in the last year and the 2022 advent calendar in terms of cigars. They replaced the lighter from the last year one because they say they have some issue with the lighter, so they recall those lighters so they can't put them again in the calendar, and they probably put some other lighter. I haven't seen the lighter yet. I haven't seen the new calendars. Less numbers. Last year was 5,000 pieces. This year 3,000. But yeah, my question is why, if you don't do different cigars, why do you bother releasing that? I don't think those are very successful. At least not in UK. Maybe in the States, price is cheaper. People fancy Oliver. They like to be surprised, but if, there's nothing surprising this year. Even last year, some people talking in internet why we're gonna buy the new one because it's exactly the same as the old one. Just find some old one in some shop, and it will probably cost you like $50 less instead of buying the new one. Same with the new one. My question is, why would they buy the new one? It's more expensive than the old one. Obviously, inflation and the price is a little bit different. Same cigars, so why would they buy the new one? And in UK, the price is ridiculous on those calendars. So at least last year there was crazy. I don't think I've sold one of those calendars. Is I don't know. Maybe it's I just can't remember, but it's crazy. Um, I know a few other brands do advent calendars. I bought the Tatuaje ones, the last few. They were interesting because what Tatuaje did in the advent calendar, they released 24 cigars, existing blends. I think only one was a blend specially made for the calendar, but all of the cigars were in the same size, Petit Robusto Rothschild size, and I believe most of the blends do not exist in this size. So basically, they roll brand new cigars for the calendar in a brand new sizes, which exist only in the advent calendar, which is fun. Some of those cigars they don't exist out of well, not some, most of them do not exist out of those calendars, and this is not the case with Oliva. Oliva just decide to. They probably use the same packaging, just rebrand, put the 2024 on the place of 2023, and that's it. Remove the lighter, put some other lighter. You know those companies have plenty of swags around, so there shouldn't be an issue. And yeah, so what are you thinking? Any of you follow those advent calendars? Have you tried any of the advent calendars from some of the other companies? Let me know. Right. We moving on to the next topic, next news, and this is Dumbarton. They do a lot of stuff last week. I'm not gonna talk more. I'm not gonna talk about some of the new releases. They do a fancy Lanceros, which is with a weird name. Again, Steve Saka is controversial, but I'm not gonna talk about the Lanceros because um I'm gonna wait until I see some feedback on the Lanceros. But the one thing I want to talk about Dumbarton is they discontinued the line from Mikerida and they added new line. They discontinued Vitola and they add new Vitola on the same line. And the difference is now they removing Mikerida 6x54, um, which will be replaced with 6x64. I get the idea why they're removing it because they have 6x52. They have 6x52, 764, 648, a few different sizes, and then they have this weird 654, 56. They're removing it and put 664, which is effectively inch. But why? Um, I didn't see Steve Saka as a guy who liked to do bigger engages. He have some releases, not much. He did Ambergok on the bigger engages, few other, but not everything. And now he added 664. Another. This will be again. I'm a huge fan of his cigars, but I don't like when the people start getting way too greedy about the business and just mass product all kind of stuff. 15 different limited releases every year. He's just the guy doesn't stop. He like to be in the people's mouth. He like people talk about him and oh, let's talk about like what we're doing now. We're talking about his cigars, but I think sometimes it's way too much what you're doing. But this is just my opinion. It's probably some of you wouldn't agree, but just to follow this brand and buy everything what they releasing, it's impossible. You wouldn't be able to smoke any other cigars, and I mean, I would say the variety is key. Trying different people, different cigars is interesting, and smoking only the same brand maybe if you're a massive hardcore fan, yeah, it's a good thing. But if you want to try different stuff, you cannot. I haven't smoked bunch of the new stuff Dumbarton released, and now adding replacing a size. Why if you discontinue size, just discontinue. Why you need to add 6x64? I just don't get it. And with his prices of the cigars, this will be probably $20 cigar. And if you make it like $18-20 cigar, I don't think the people who usually smoke 60 and 70 engage, they'll be very interested smoking this cigar. Because most of those 60, 70 engages, they're not they're not particularly expensive cigars. I reckon again I don't know the market that well in the US. I don't think the people who smoke big engages in the US they particularly wants to pay more money. Probably they smoke them, they enjoy the size. They think they get more for the more of a cigar for the money they pay, and I don't think they're happy paying $20-30 for a bigger engage. But again, this is only my opinion. So before we go to the some of the final topics, I I'm not massively enjoying this cigar. It's a bit of a tasteless. It's not much happening. I'm keep puffing. I light it. Um, construction is fine. It's burning fine. It's not. You don't need to correct or whatever. But just it's unplay. It's I call those cigars which doesn't ma- doesn't massively impress me in taste. They more or like taste like cigarettes. Even if I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, I think that's how the cigarettes taste. Am I wrong? And the last couple topics, they are kind of connected, but so we're gonna talk again about the generational bans and smoking and vaping, all the legislation and stuff in UK. There's already a few publications and few news around that topic. So obviously tonight is the excuse me, gents and ladies. Tonight is the budgeting in the industry. So most likely we're gonna have new prices of the cigars from maybe tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow, but we'll see. So the couple news, obviously in the last few months there was a few different um, news from the government where they were saying basically they try first to put the generational ban, and second they try to ban all outdoor smoking. I'm going to talk for both of them. Um, so apparently the outdoor smoking most likely will not happen in the way they propose it. So they will not stop gardens, pub gardens, places to those kind of places to people to enjoy cigars. They will ban cigars and tobacco smoking, cigarettes around hospitals and schools, nurseries, and that kind of stuff, which makes sense. I don't smoke around those places, and I don't think a lot of people do it. Um, Sometimes when I go and pick up my kids from school, I walk to the school. If it's a nice weather, enjoy a cigar. I make sure I usually either pick a very short cigar, either lit the cigar on the way back. So on the way back, because it's if I walk, it's probably about half an hour, 40 minutes walking. Nice weather, just walk and smoke. I love doing that. But I don't smoke in the premises of school, close to the school. Again, I just don't want to. Always will be some conflict parent which will talking nonsense and start teaching me how to what to do with my life. But yeah, I also around the hospitals. I don't I don't usually smoke around hospitals as well. So makes sense to ban those type of stuff, but don't just say, "Oh, we're gonna ban on the street." But apparently, the news they most likely will not gonna go through with all those legislation. Someone says just visit Japan and they have designated areas of the street to smoke. I mean, it makes sense. I don't mind if I have places on the street where I can smoke. Obviously, not the most scruffy areas and non-covered and no benches or anything. If you're gonna create a designated places to smoke, make sure there's the same stuff, same commodities like the non-smoking areas. You know, you have benches around trees or whatever. Just make sure you have all those stuff. Not like, oh, this is designated smoking area and there's not even bench to sit down or anything. So yeah, that's my 2 cents here. The other one and the more probably serious ban is the generational tobacco smoking ban, which to be honest probably will go through. Um, the government promised to issue that law before Christmas. So this is like month from now, 2 months. They definitely wants to ban the generational. They says all kind of bunch of information. They produce new studies where basically most of the 11, 12 years old smoke cigarettes, which is not the case. I don't think this is true. Yeah, they smoke vapes. They don't smoke cigarettes. I don't think cigarette smoking is that active as 20 years ago, and cigar smoking is not even completely in the equation. Um, there's apparently this lady, which, if you excuse me, I'm gonna read her name because I usually don't do that kind of stuff, but I'm so frustrated with that. So this lady called Lizzie Patty, which is head of health. Um, I was planning to Google and see how she look if she's head of health. Why is she giving everyone some advices? Um, but basically, she says the smoking kills more people than obesity, alcohol, drugs, lack of exercise combined. It doesn't make any sense. Everywhere around the world, everyone says the biggest issues are stress, sugar, etc., etc. Now this lady says in UK, everything combined is less dangerous than smoking. I mean, they says about 6.5 million people smoke in UK. So let's say if all those people die in 1 year, 6.5 million people, it's a lot of people. I think there's still more people dying from all other stuff combined um, than those 6 million people who smoke anything. I've mentioned it many times, how the drugs and alcohol are related to deaths and everything. I'm not gonna repeat that same sentences, but apparently all the bad stuff combined, um, they don't they're not bad as smoking itself. And she mentioned all those kind of usual diseases, cancer, heart diseases, blah 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 blah. I was like, just leave us alone, honestly. Create your legislation and don't tell me how many people are dying because they don't tell the whole truth. They don't mention how many, all the millions and everything. I mean, 6.5 million people smoke, and we bring £8 billion of the in the budget. I don't think any other 6.5 million people bring in that kind of money with the consumable product. There was a study which I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was something in the range of about 30 million people in UK consume alcohol, and alcohol bring 10 billion people, so 10 billion pounds. So almost the same money, slightly more, but the people who consume alcohol are 5 times more. I don't know. Go figure out. But yeah, this is. I will keep ranting about those nonsense because they're nonsense. They every week or so they bring in something new on the table. Oh, this new study, this new study. Unfortunately, most of the people who, most of the companies who are related to the smoking, even vaping, they can't invest that much into the studies which can prove something wrong. I don't know about vapes. I just mentioned the vapes because they probably it's a big industry probably in that one and need more regulations. Our industry is well regulated, and I think that's why we don't have any issues. If vapes are regulated, maybe it's that vapes help some people, the people who and help them stop smoking cigarettes, etc., etc. But it's not regulated at all, and that's the problem. So how is everyone? We toned down a little bit the um, the topics. I know it's not the fun and happy laugh and everything in there, but that's the reality. I mean, it's mm, we're living in a one massive big brother where people are watching you and tell you what to do, which is which is stupid. So how's everyone else? How are your cigars? I know a few people mentioned they smoke. I've seen there's a bunch of people who watches over the last 40-45 minutes. I don't have any more specific news prepared to talk about. If you guys want to talk about something, just give me a shout. I can still talk a little bit and finish my cigar. Next week there will be no show. I have some family stuff I need to do, and I won't be able to film live. But I'll be back week after with a new portion of news and interesting topics. I keep promising you a video which I need to edit and add about plum and malt, and honestly, I didn't have any time in the last week. But this is one of the things in the channel. I don't. I want to post much more stuff. I create a list with about 50 topics, which I can talk about, record a little video, show some examples with cigars and everything. I just don't have the physical time. But hopefully next week I'll be back on my. I mean, this week I'll be back on my usual plan schedule where I can um, smoke and record some stuff. I don't have much planned to travel nowadays until end of the year. So that means I have more free time in the afternoons, in the evenings, where I can record a little bit and then edit when I have time and just post it out there. Tabernacle being solid. Yep, I love the cigar. Which remind me, I need to smoke one of them. I'm planning in the next couple of weeks to smoke Foundation, the Night Commander. I think that was the name. That's the new fancy one they released, the big Perfecto, which looks like a Highclere Castle Sanitaire. Uh, I haven't smoked it. I have a couple of them. I'm gonna smoke it probably with George from 1573 Cigars. He'll be visiting me to do an event in a couple of weeks in Leeds. So before the event, most likely we're gonna light one of those and we're gonna sample them. Ryan wants to see a humidor tour. I mean, I don't know how to do it, to be honest, because there's not much space in the humidor. You can see it's a small walk-in where I can basically get in there and just stay there. I don't have much of a space to film it, and I don't know how I'm gonna do with the lighting, because basically now the light this you can see the lighting at the moment. This is the maximum I can do without using any other external lighting. Um, and if I start pulling boxes, I mean, most of those boxes are not what you've seen. So I use boxes to keep all my cigars in boxes to not have loose cigars. But for example, if you see a lot of Cuibas or Monte Cristo or Romeo, they're not Cuibas, Monte Cristos, and Romeo. I just use the boxes to put other cigars in there. And at the moment, there are over 2,500 different cigars. Doesn't mean I have boxes of all of them. I might have like one or two left from each, because I don't buy any more boxes. And making a tour will be, I don't know, imagine if I want to show you even half of those 2,000 different cigars. That will be like, I don't know, 2 minutes a cigar to explain you what is it. And this is like, I don't know, what's that, 4,000 minutes. If anyone can calculate how many hours is that. GoPro on my head. I got a big head. It's not gonna fit me. Some of the interesting boxes outside the humidor. Yeah, that's one of the plans when I'm doing some short videos and everything. So I said every time I smoke something interesting, I'll try to post about it. I've already did few small videos. Again, this is like a few minute videos when I'm smoking something interesting I'm not seen around, and that's the plan. Every time I decide to smoke something a little bit weird, something not always seen around, I'll probably make a short video and uh, throw it out there. So it won't be able with everything. Sometimes I smoke a few cigars outside of the, 2 3 cigars outside the house, and I I can't film a video of that. But so I calculate 67 hours. I mean, that's what I say. If if someone can convince me that someone will watch series with 67 hours worth of filming, I will record every single cigar I have, and I'll explain you what's in it. I have some fucking, apologize on the language. I don't like to swear publicly usually, but I have some very weird old stuff where I don't think people even seen them. But I don't know what's be interesting for the people. And I keep collecting weird stuff. That's the problem. I'm not interested anymore if I see a new limitada or like 10 years old limited edition Cuban cigar. I'm more interested seeing cigar which I don't know. Like recently, I was in China. Obviously, I get few Chinese cigars, and I was so curious. Again, they're not nothing expensive, nothing special. Even we discussed it a couple of days ago with Usman. If you guys know Usman, my we were partners in one of the channels back in the time. We were talking about the cigars because we was together in China, and he asked me, "Oh, tell me what do you think about this one? One specific cigar." And I was like, um, "It tastes like an ashtray. It's awful." And he was like, "I can't believe it. I smoked this cigar, and for me, it's so good." Say, well, mine was awful. I smoked it in the golf course a couple of days ago, and it was awful. Um, but yeah, has my cigar improved at all? No, honestly, nothing nice in this cigar. It's weird because I usually like the San Andres. I was having so high expectations on this cigar. It's very, it's a very rare piece now. It's an old cigar. It's 8 years old. I can't. I don't think I can find any of those in existence anymore. Maybe some very hardcore collectors. But the cigar is so bad. It's literally not my. I don't think it's anyone taste. It's just blunt, boring. Tastes like an ashtray. Nothing fancy. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, now a couple of days now. I have a couple of days off. Working project. So plumber malt. Keep stay posted. Hopefully by Wednesday evening we'll be ready. Um, I will do everything as possible to edit it and post it. I want to see your reaction and your faces, guys, when I post it because that will be interesting. I'm sure it will be very fun to watch. It will be not particularly short video. I would say something like half an hour. Hopefully educational for some people. Um, Controversial for sure, because obviously there's a whatever doesn't matter what's my opinion on that. Always will be controversial. Yeah, the fun thing is you can see the ash. I tried to knock the ash. It's solid. You don't wanna. Yeah. Now it's full, so there's no construction issues. It's a very well made cigar, but just flavors are not here. Right. I think it's almost time to finish. It's been almost an hour. Um, I did my bit of ranting tonight. I realize most of the times when I do the news section, I'm actually ranting about all the stuff. Um, it's more negative comments and why this, why that, why, instead of actually just saying the news and leave people to maybe be more interactive. But yeah, as I said, there's all kind of releases and news and everything, and I just don't want to mention, oh, this is a new cigar from this brand, and that's it. I want to give my 2 cents, especially of something like what we did tonight with the Fuente, and then with the some of the Vitolas, some people releasing. Yeah, I think that would be the way to do the news section. A little bit of rant and see what you're thinking. So thanks for everyone who watch, listen. Um, it's been a fun. Even if the cigar is not enjoyable, I'm gonna finish it. Of course, I don't throw cigars. I'll try to finish it probably the next 20 minutes. I'll be still here. Um, no show next week. Don't be surprised. I'll be back on. Let me see the date. Is it 11th? Yeah, 11th of November. So 11th of the 11th. I'll be back with a new portion of the life and the news. See if we have anything uh, on the topics with the government, and maybe we're gonna talk about the budgeting, how the budget will affect the prices. I can literally will give you a fresh update how the prices moved in retail. But yeah, guys, smoke your cigars as tomorrow is never given. You know, we never know. Well, smoke all your good cigars because someone else might smoke them. And that was me, Ray, and you were the late smoke. So I'll see you in a couple weeks.